What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here on Muddy Beards 4x4. Today, do a quick down and dirty video how to diagnose a bent axle shaft, because I'm pretty sure both my rear axle shafts are bent. So let's get to it. So let's get right into it. So if you guys don't know, I already have videos on my disc brake setup on my rear forelink. This is a Ford 9-inch from a 1980 F150. We have disc brake setup, and I'm running 35 spline Yukon axle shafts. Here is a brand new one ready to go. And I have the vehicle supported on jack stands. I have the lug nuts back on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it up and put it into gear, into wheel drive, of course, and I'll show you what's going on. Many months ago, I noticed a loud rotational clicking noise coming from the rear end. And as you can see here, there's obviously a problem right here. The clicking noise is actually the brake pads. As the rotor was wobbling around in the caliper, the brake pads were flopping around. Now, if you guys don't already have one of these dial indicators, you're gonna wanna have one for your garage, for your shop. They're really helpful to work on a lot of stuff. And so it's a magnet base, so I just put a piece of sheet metal, scrap metal down here to hold it up, and I have it against the rotor, and I'm going to start that at the outer farthest point to get the most accurate reading, and then we'll work our way in to the axle itself. So what you saw me doing right there is I'm marking the high spots the best I can. So I did it three times. They're all right in this area. So what I'm going to do next to eliminate the rotor, I'm going to take the rotor off, flip it 180. Okay, so I marked it again, and it is moved from here to here, which is exactly where this side used to be over here. So the problem is not in the rotor itself. So let's pull it off and check the axle. That is definitely an excessive amount of run out on the axle flange itself. Axle shaft might be bent, axle flange might be bent. Either way, I need to replace this axle shaft. So I will install a brand new one, new bearings, new everything, and we'll check it again. Another good indication that something is going on with your axle shaft or anything back here is the axle seal is actually leaking. So this one is leaking a tiny bit. I would say a seep, but that would be an indication that there's something wrong inside, and you should probably check it out. I have the old shaft out, and the new one is all prepped and ready to go. Question you might be asking is, how did I bend a 35 spline Yukon axle shaft? To be honest, I don't know. And bending both sides, this side worse than the other side, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not super hard on my Jeep. Then again, yeah, I don't know. One thing that I can say is I have been having problems with these brakes pretty much since I started, and I really didn't look into it until recently. So I have a feeling that these axle shafts I did buy on Amazon as a set, and they were very cheap considering how much they are if you buy from a legitimate source, Summit Racing, Jegs, whatever. So there is a definite possibility that these axle shafts were probably out of spec and were sold on Amazon from a private seller or something, and they were bent or not in spec from the beginning. So that's why I went ahead and bought 2 new Yukon 35 spline axle shafts from a legitimate source, Summit Racing, and I'm going to install those. And if the same thing does happen again in the future, I'll end up, having to go a different direction with, the axle shafts that I'm going to use. But for now, I'm going to slam these new ones in, and then we'll go ahead and check the run out on these and see if they're any better. Now that I got the passenger side all wrapped up, it is 100% better than it was before. There's very, very, very little run out. And we're gonna move over to the driver's side. I will do the exact same process on this one, except I'm not gonna measure it because I can see the rotor moving, and I'm just gonna replace it and use these ones as spares. And I'll have 2 spares, which I don't have a problem with. And you never know when you're going to need it. Once I install the driver's side axle shaft, I have not ground down the flange on this one because the rotor does not slide over the flange. If you watched my 9-inch DIY disc brake system, you saw I had to grind the flange down. So once I get it on here, I'll just put it in drive just like I did before and just use it as a lathe to slowly grind it down. Take about 15-20 minutes to finish that one up, and then I'll just slam it all back together and it should be good to go. Well, hopefully this helped you guys at all, just diagnosing a bent axle flange, bent axle. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I am at MuddyBeards4x4. You can check out our website, muddybeards4x4.com. We've got t-shirts, stickers, mugs, stuff like that. Help support the channel. And if you don't have a dial indicator, it's on our Amazon store. Link is in the description, or just go to our website. It'll be on there too as well. Till next time, guys, we'll see you on the trail.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.